Hello everyone and welcome back to the Silicon Nubian YouTube channel where we're all about things tech. Today we're having a look at a new distribution, at least it's completely new to me, Nitrux Linux version 1.0.3. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Nitrux or Nitrux. It is an Ubuntu based distribution focusing on portable universal app format called Snap Packages. It has a very heavily customized Plasma 5 desktop based on the Plasma 5 desktop, its own GUI called Nomad, and it features the Babe music player and a Nomad firewall utility. Nitrux Center only works out of the box with Snap Packages. The Snap Packages is basically a portable multi-platform package format for installing and uninstalling applications. It has certain advantages in that the applications being portable are isolated from each other. They don't interfere with the other system components, and uninstalling should be 100% complete and sure. That being said, out of the box, Nitrux does limit you to Snap Packages using its built-in package manager, the NX Software Center it's called. So they will only work with Snap Packages, not Debian packages. If you want to work with Debian archives or any kind of other packages, you'll actually need to go to the command line, but we'll get to that a little bit later. There's a little idiosyncrasy with that. Once again, based on Ubuntu Linux, and it uses the Ubuntu repositories for its package retrieval. So here's the desktop post installation. We have the bar on the top. If you right click, you have unlock widgets, set flexible size, that's okay. We have the networking right here. We see the wired connection. Right clicking will bring up a network configuration. Here we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Here we have the notifications. Nomad notifications right here. Wired connection connected. Nothing else to show. Here we have the audio. Capture devices, playback devices. Right clicking on either of these will give you a second different pop-up that you can make selections in here. Configure event notifications, removal devices, and whatnot. Right clicking on the audio will bring up audio control settings. Here we are. Audio volume, keyboard shortcuts. The drop down button will give you status and notifications, battery brightness, KD Connect, clipboard, and whatnot. Of course, we have the clock with the with the calendar. Okay, so that's pretty simple. At the bottom, we have 4 icons. One is Dolphin. That's the file manager, and they use Dolphin as the default file manager. That's fine with me. Here we have the Bash console. And let's see, while we're in here, what kernel is running. After updates, which I did perform, Nitrux is running the 4.12 series of kernel. 4.12.0-11 generic Ubuntu SMP, to be more exact, x64. Okay, here we have Kate, which is a very capable text editor, and here we have Chrome or Chromium, which is the default web browser, which is fine with me. Very quick, very fast, pretty good. One little idiosyncrasy I see is if you start Chrome, for example, to get out of Chrome, you have to X out a different way than the other windows. So there's a little bit of discontinuity in terms of how applications are presented. Once again, this is an up-and-coming distribution, so I won't take points off immediately for that. Here we have system settings, which is the typical KDE system settings application. There's one system setting that I noticed right away is missing, and that is printer. I have read in other looks at this that issues with printer installation and problems with respect to installation of cups and whatnot. Not that it was hard to install, just that it was difficult to get the software, because by default, if you've noticed already, Nitrux ships with almost nothing. In fact, it ships with nothing. It's bare bones. The only extra application that ships, really, outside the realm of what Nitrux is Chrome. So let's check out their firewall utility. So here we can make rules. Looks pretty extensive on what we can do, so that's interesting. To get software on Nitrux, you have to run the NX Software Center. So here shows what's installed. This is the first tab here. And here we see all that's installed is the core. And it will show you core runtime environment. You can remove, disable, or you can return. So that's all that's installed presently, and that's what comes with the system. And here we have settings. Okay, select a store to get snaps from. Ubuntu Store is default. Third-party software, you can enter an URL, My Snap Store, whatever it is. But by default, it's Ubuntu. And proxy servers configuration. So let's go to the actual store or software center. So we can see here it's categorized. Books and comics, none found. Business. And we can see what's available. Free chart. Okay, communication. Hopefully there's a few in there. Convos, web form, CLI. Developer tools. Tons of developer tools, which makes sense. It's an up and coming. Education. Okay. Entertainment. Okay. What am I noticing here is that with respect to the number of snaps that's available, it's very limited. Food and drink, none. Games, I'm sure there's a bunch. Nope, only 2. Graphics, at least I have Blender, I don't see GIMP. But all is not lost, and I'll get to that in a minute. Health and fitness, okay. And lifestyle, okay. You notice that if you go, you're missing one. Interesting. Media and video. This is what I'm interested in. VLC is available. So if I click on VLC, it'll give me a little blurb about it. VLC, Videoland, blah, blah, blah. And I can click here and it will install. Enter the password. And it'll show me a little blurb here, and it will install VLC Player. Just let that run pretty good. Productivity. We'll see what they have here. Okay, password generator, Prometheus, a few other little things, none of which I use on a regular basis. Reference, travel, universal access, utilities. No snaps found. So you can see right away from this, and if we go back to here, we'll see that VLC has been installed. So the first tab is install software, the second tab is available. If you're just going alone on the NX Software Center, you're going to starve yourself of a lot of different applications. So while it looks good and the premise is good, the execution is okay, but the filler, the quantity of apps available, snaps available, is very low. So let's show you something very interesting. Now, being a being based on Ubuntu, you'd feel that apt-get would work. Apt-get doesn't work, and I'm going to tell you why. Nitrux uses the Ubuntu repositories, and you would expect apt and apt-get package management tools to work and be included. However, Nitrux flips the switch and ships with pack-apt, which is basically a command line program which uses the pacman pack manager's syntax. So, to work, and it works with Debian packages. This means instead of using apt-get, you have to use pacman, for example. It works, but using pacman. Very interesting. That's something, obviously, again, more discontinuity with respect to expectations. So if you want to install something different, you would have to use pacman. This is very interesting. And because of the dearth of snaps that are available, you are forced to drop to the command line to install anything else. And even then, some things are unavailable. So I'm a little bit miffed about that. This is going to be a very quick video, so let me just give you a little bit of what I think. Let me give you a lot of what I think. I think Nitrux is something that's interesting to look at, poke around a little bit. I would never use this in a production or a casual environment as my operating system. It's just not going to happen. It has a great solid base, but it's not well along enough in terms of execution to recommend it as for daily usage. Absolutely not. I mean, if you like to poke around different Linux distributions, get it installed in a virtual machine and poke the tires and see if you like it. But other than that, I'm not too sure if I like it that much at this point. Now, as I'm poking around a little bit more, I'm realizing that even I can't find the music manager it talks about called Babe, which is very interesting. So let's just bring this to an end, because really it's right now a work in progress. It's a showcase of hopefully things to come. Snap package availability has to increase significantly before I would put this on the desktop. It's not a cohesive desktop by any means. It does show some promise. I do like the way that it's laid out. I like it a lot. I do like certain design elements of it, but with respect to a daily use, absolutely not. It's something that I would probably check back on periodically. Maybe if they get up to a 2.0 release, I would check back at it. But something to poke around. The beauty about Linux is there's so much out there. Not all of it you're going to want to use, or not all of it is it worth actually using on a daily basis. But it just shows you that there's still a lot of room for innovation and different thoughts and ideas. And while I would never recommend Nitrux for beginning Linux user or even moderate, at least people who are very well versed in Linux can boot it up, just take a look at it, and enjoy what it has and its idiosyncrasies, but definitely not to run on any kind of production environment, whether casual or not. So that's it. My quick look at Nitrux Linux. It just caught my eye and I wanted to take a look. It's something that I will be checking back on periodically, and just want to say thanks for watching, and check us out for hardware. If you're into building computers and modifying them, check us out on our Facebook group, PC Construction Zone. Definitely would like to see you there. Also, we have technology and computer enthusiasts for general day-to-day tech news. And you can see all the links below in the description below this video. So take care, and thanks for watching.